Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the David Hittle Real Estate Show. And it is also Halloween today. So, for all the ghouls and goblins out there looking to buy or sell a home, you should reach out to David Hittle with United Real Estate Louisville. Again, today is Halloween, and today we're going to talk about and discuss why you should not fear, why you should not fear today's real estate market. There's a lot of reasons why you should fear things going on in this country today, but I have a few reasons why you should not fear this real estate market. Before we get started, however, I would like you to visit my website. The website is www.shopkentuckyhomes.com. And on that website, you can do a variety of things. If you are a home buyer, you can search for all the homes that we have available here in Louisville, Elizabethtown, all over Kentucky, and even into southern Indiana. You can search on my website, shopkentuckyhomes.com, for all of the available homes on the market. You can also go on there and you can receive a computer generated home valuation that will give you an estimate on what your home's value is. And you can also contact me via my website at shopkentuckyhomes.com. There's a wide range of things you can do on that website. So I hope that you will visit and connect with me. Connect with me about your needs. So, why you should not fear today's housing market. Well, one of the reasons why you should not fear today's housing market is that there are more homes available now than there were in the spring. So if you're a potential home buyer, that's great for you. That means you get to go out and you can see more properties that are on the market now, and you can better make a better decision on which one actually will fit your needs. You're not just limited anymore to one house or two houses, or visiting these houses and fearing a bidding war, or fearing a multiple offer situation. Today, there are more homes on the market, which means you have more opportunities to get the home that fits your needs now. The number of homes for sale usually peaks in the fall. So it usually goes up, and as it gets really, really cold, comes right back down again. In the residential real estate market, trends generally follow a predictable and seasonal pattern. Typically, the number of homes available for sale or active monthly listings peaks in the fall. However, in a season, in a few years, where anything feels normal, we should question whether there will be a fall peak, or whether we'll see the peak in the fall. Will the number of listings just keep going up and up and up? We know from the data, from the research, from what we're seeing, that home prices are continuing to increase. There are no predictions that I have seen that have shown any sort of decrease in home prices for the conceivable future. We just aren't seeing it. On the other hand, we're also seeing that mortgage interest rates are starting to climb as well. They hit 3.14% this week. So, with prices going up and mortgage interest rates going up, home sellers have to decide whether they want to stick around in their current home and wait for the peak of the prices, or for mortgage rates to come back down again to a level that they feel is better than today. And for home buyers, it's all about finding that home that fits their budget and fits their price range and making sure that they get it with a really good mortgage interest rate. That's the struggle today. If we look at the active monthly listings for 2021, the highest peak before now was in July when 606,000 homes were on the market nationwide. Before then, it was January. January had 600,000 homes on the market. Today, we're seeing 647,000 homes on the market, which is up slightly from the previous month of August, where we saw 641,000 homes on the market. Here in our Louisville, Lexington market, we're seeing just over 3,000 listings on the market. And here in Louisville itself, just about 17 to 1,800 listings on the market. So we're seeing the same thing that nationwide is seeing. Our inventory is peaking now, and hopefully, if we have a great winter, meaning a warmer winter, we may see new home builders be able to catch up a bit with the inventory problem. The important takeaway here is that the latest monthly numbers are showing growth. At the end of September, buyers had more options to pick from. That's important for buyers, especially. Not so good for sellers because your home might be overlooked because there are so many other homes out there available. But buyers have more options to pick from than they did this spring. That is encouraging, of course, for buyers who may have paused their search months ago because they were having trouble finding a home. So if you paused your home buying situation because you couldn't find your home, now may be a time to take a relook because there are more homes coming onto the market now. Put simply, this September, buyers had more options than they've had all year. And while that's typical of the early fall, that's not what happened in 2020. So it's still important to remember that while buyers may have an easier time this fall than they did in the spring, the market remains competitive, more competitive than it has been historically at this time of the year. So, what does this mean for you? What does this mean for you? If you are thinking of buying, you should rest assured that you do have more options now than you did earlier this year. So if you paused because you couldn't find the home that you were looking for in the spring or the summer, you should contact your realtor. Hopefully, that's me. And let's get your home search going again. Let's start looking at homes again because today you have more options than you had the past few months. That being said, today's market is still highly competitive. Not as competitive as it was in the spring, but it is still highly competitive. And this is not the time to slow your search. Don't pause, don't slow. It's actually the season when the number of homes available for sale tends to peak. So focus on the additional options with renewed energy this season and be prepared for ongoing competition from other buyers, and your realtor should be able to walk you through that process. If you are considering selling, the other part of this equation, realize that while growing inventory is still slow, selling now means you'll be in a good position to negotiate with buyers, and competition among buyers is good news for your bottom line. Eager buyers will likely be motivated to act before the holidays, giving you the benefit of a fast sale. So, again, the bottom line in all this is whether you are buying or selling a home, there is still a chance to make your goals a reality this season. We should connect so that we can discuss what's going on with your local market and current trends and what that means to you. And I would be happy to set up that appointment for you if you are in one of those two categories. And you can set up an appointment with me via my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/shopkentuckyhomes. All one word, all spelled out. You can go on there and actually book an appointment with me. And of course, I will call you to verify that you want to have an appointment. We'll make sure that date is good with both of us. But I want to be able to sit down with people and determine what their needs are and to be able to tell them and tell you what your options are. So you can do that on facebook.com/shopkentuckyhomes. You can always call me. My phone number is 502-489-1135. Or you can reach out to me via email, text, Facebook message, however you want to get a hold of me. I am available to help you. That is what I am here for. So, more reasons why you should not fear today's real estate market. You should think about whether you want to consider this a challenge, a housing challenge, or a housing opportunity. And it really depends on where you are positioned. So, the biggest challenge in real estate today is the lack of available homes. The lack of available homes for sale, while inventory is going up, we are still at record low inventory levels. Here in Louisville, in the Lexington market, we're at about 1.24 months. A stable market is 6 months. So we're just under 5 months under our stable market inventory levels here in Louisville Lexington market. Nationwide, we're at 2.24 months. So we're about 4 months under a stable market. So right now we are embroiled and have been for some time in a red hot seller's market. But inventory is starting to catch up. The low housing supply has caused homes throughout the country to appreciate or to rise at a much faster rate in value, in price. There are many reasons for the limited number of homes on the market, but as you can see, and as you will see, we are well below where we've been for most of the past 10 years. So we are below inventory levels historically, which is good for home sellers because it means their prices are going to go up. Housing and the housing market and the real estate market is all controlled by supply and demand. If supply is high but demand is low, prices fall. If demand is high but supply is low, prices rise. And when we have an equilibrium, prices stabilize. But we don't have that right now. We have high supply. Oh, no, sorry. Reverse. We have low supply and high demand. There's still a lot of buyers out there wanting to buy homes, and they are fueling the demand for homes. So, again, there are many reasons why there's a limited number of homes on the market, and we are below the historical norm, the historical averages for the past 10 years. So, looking back in history, back in 2000, between the middle of 2011 and 2012, we had 9.5 months of inventory. That would be what we would consider a buyer's market. We were in a buyer's market back between 2011 and 2012. Between 2012 and 2013, we fell to 6.5 months of inventory. And these numbers are nationwide. So I don't have local figures for you on this, but this was nationwide. 6.5 months of inventory. In January of 2013, housing inventory fell to 4.5 months. So we converted from a stable market in 2012. We were a stable market, 6.5 months of inventory. We fell in 2013 to 4.5 months, driving us into what we have today, which is the seller's market. It has never risen above the 6-month average or the 6-month stable market category since January or since 2012, between 2012 and 2013. January of 2013 was the drop down into our seller's market. It peaked again in between 2014 and 2015, where it hit 5.5 months, still considered a slight seller's market. But ever since 2014, the inventory levels have dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. Where we have today 2.4 months of inventory nationwide. So the opportunity portion of this, whether you want to see this as a housing opportunity or as a housing challenge, the opportunity is this. The lack of homes for sale is creating a challenge for many home buyers who are frustrated in their home search. And who wouldn't be? On the other hand, this is a huge opportunity for sellers as the low supply is driving up home values. Okay? According to CoreLogic, and they're usually the more conservative with their numbers, according to CoreLogic, the average home has risen by more than $50,000 over the past year. Let me say that again. According to CoreLogic, they're the conservative number people. The average home has risen by more than $50,000 over the past year. So your home potentially has risen by over $50,000 since this time last year. What can you say about that other than it being an opportunity? Other than it being an opportunity. For many homeowners, that $50,000 gain or growth is opening new doors as they rethink their needs and use their equity to move up in home or to downsize. And according to Dr. Frank Nothat, the chief economist over at CoreLogic, the average homeowner with a mortgage has more